Hi guys, Dr. Mal here. We're busy with chemical equilibrium and we're now going to move towards doing some calculations. So let's just have a look. We said we have to know if it's an open or closed, and if it's an open container, there won't be any equilibrium. We define chemical equilibrium as those reversible reactions where the rate of the forward is exactly the same as the rate of the reverse reactions. We had a look at the factors. We're going to now concentrate on a new term that you've not heard before, and that is Kc. So chemical equilibrium is actually when we've got the forward and the reverse reaction happening. So let's write down the reactants is going to firstly become products. You know how it works. It was in a previous lesson where we say we'll start off with reactions of reactants becoming products. If it's a closed system, like for instance here, where we've got that stopper or lid on it, we'll also find a point where the products will then slowly become reactants until we reach the point where the products will remain the same. The reactants will remain the same. And now we're going to have a look at it. What is this remains the same? So the concentration of the reactants in the beginning will decrease. The reaction will actually form products, and that concentration or moles will increase. But as soon as we get to the point where we've got equilibrium, which means when every reactant becomes a product becomes a reactant anymore, exactly in the same time, then they remain the same. So when we've got chemical equilibrium, the concentration, and remember those are the brackets that we use to say this is concentration, of the reactants will remain the same for 1, 2, 3 minutes, seconds, because it's now in chemical equilibrium. Exactly the same will happen with the products. As soon as we reach chemical equilibrium, the concentration of products will remain the same. Although reactants are becoming products, products are also becoming reactants again, so the products will remain the same. We're not saying that these two are equal. We aren't saying that at all. Please never make that mistake. It's not that. The rate of the forward is equal to the rate of the reverse reaction. Right. Now we can express that concentration and concentration in a new, it's an equation, but it's actually a relationship. So if the reactants remain the same and the products remain the same, we're now going to put it into this, which we call the equilibrium constant. It's K, it's a constant, and it's C because it's concentrations. Now there's a few rules. You put the products at the top. Can you see there? It's products divided by the concentration reactants. If I've got a reaction which is the following, I've got A and I've got the moles as A. I've got B and the moles of B is B. That's the reactants I'm using. I will then form C and D. Can you see? That's the equation, the chemical equation. You know those arrows means the forward and the reverse is happening simultaneously and exactly at the same tempo. So the products will always be at the top. You're going to put the products that we have. We had here C, you see there. I put the concentration of C in a bracket, and the moles, which is in front, will become a power there. D is the other product. I put D in the bracket and the power there. Now, important guys, where I've got, and I'm going to quickly get another nice pen. Where I've got this plus here, do you see there? I'm now going to multiply there. Again, the same with the reactants. I've got A there. Is that reactant there? Can you see that A? I'm putting it there with the moles there becoming the power. I've got B there. There it is, B and the power. And exactly as above, this plus here will become a multiply at the bottom. So there's a few rules that you've got to know. Let's see if we can give you the rules quickly. Firstly, the Kc, or the equilibrium constant, is just a number. It's a relationship. Therefore, I have no unit. Well, let's have a look. If we had to put in a unit, we would have mole per cubic decimeter at the top over mole per cubic decimeter at the bottom, which means it would have cancelled. Therefore, I have no unit. Secondly, it's a relationship of the concentrations. Where, at what point, where there's equilibrium. Right. At the bottom, I always have the reactants, and at the top, the products. It's moles, that becomes a power. We'll do that again. And a very, very important rule, we only write this down for a gas or an ion, a plus or a negative ion. Not a solid and not a liquid, and you could just substitute that with the value of 1, and I'll practice that with you now. And remember, guys, that my unit for concentration is mole per cubic decimeter. Let's write this down for the reaction I've got here. I've got N2, I've got 3H2, and I'm forming ammonia. Kc is, you never write down the equation like that. It's not an equation. You don't write that down. You needn't do that. You go right to the equation. The product is this. So it's the equation of ammonia, and it's the concentration. The moles is 2, so it becomes the power. And the reactants was the nitrogen, and it's, you see it's 1 there, so it's to the power of 1, which you can exclude, times the hydrogen, and the hydrogen concentration has got 3 moles. Let's go back to this equation. The C, we are now substituting with this. The D isn't here, and this is the A and the B, and let's do that again. I've got at the top NH3, I've got 2, do you see that? It's the power, the mole. I then have the reactants at the bottom. I've got a nitrogen, I'm multiplying it with hydrogen, and again that is the moles, it becomes the power. Now let's see if you can do a few calculations with that. Let's see if you can do this one. Give the Kc relation for the 4 reactions. Kc is, we don't write down product over reactant. We write down at the top CCl2, and we've got a plus there, or a multiply, and H2. At the bottom, I've got a solid. Do you remember what we said when we did the rules? You don't write down a solid, you put a 1. So let's go back. The solid there will be a 1, and you don't have to put it down, but you'll see in some cases you have to. Here I've got HCl, and I've got 2 moles, so it's the power of 2. So, what is important? What does this relationship mean? If I've got a large Kc value or a small Kc value, it gives you some indication of the reactivity of this reaction. So, that Kc is at a very, very specific temperature. That's the value. If the temperature change, you know the forward reaction or the reverse reaction will change. So you will change the equilibrium if you change the temperature. Therefore, it's at a very specific temperature. So that's the first thing I need you to know. It's just at a specific temperature. If I've got a large Kc, let's say for instance we have a value of 50. What does it mean? I've got 50 concentration, for instance, of the products, you know it's products, over 1, which is the reactant. So what does it say? It means there's less reactants. You can see 1 to 50. Let's take a value which is small. Let's say the Kc value is, for instance, 0.005. Again, I've got the products over the reactants. If I've got 0.005, I've got 50 of this and 0.25 of that. That would give me a value of that. Can you see now I've got less products and more reactants. So if you find a reaction and at the bottom you see the Kc value, you know, is it going to form more products or less products and more reactants? Right, going back, let's write the equations for the following. SO2, it's gas, O2 gas, and these are the reactants. So this is A and B, and we're forming C, and C, it's also gas. So I can write down Kc will be at the top, SO3, the concentration of SO3, it's 2 moles to the power of 2 over SO2, it's this one here, to the power of 2, multiply with oxygen, and it only had 1, so that's the answer. Let's go to the next one. We've got here a solid and a solid. So let's just practice. At the top, I will now have CO2 because I'm omitting that, and therefore you could put 1 and 1, or you could just say the answer is that. Yes. Now we're going to do the last one. Here I've got a solid forming. I've got a gas and a gas. Kc is, what's the product? 1 over the 2 reactants. And I'm multiplying that, and can you see that's my reaction? Therefore, put in a 1. Otherwise, you're going to get confused and you are going to make mistakes. So the first exercise we did was firstly to determine what the Kc is and to write the Kc. Now we're going to get a question. Calculate the Kc if we've got the reaction of hydrogen with iodine, and at a temperature of 400 degrees Celsius, it gives me equilibrium. So the hydrogen and the iodine forms hydroiodate, and when it was at equilibrium, it was found that the concentration of the 2 reactants is that value, and they've got the same value, and the product is 3.5. They want us to calculate the equilibrium constant. So firstly, guys, go and write down the value and the equation. We do not write product. We write down what is the product. It's HI. It's 2 moles, so it's to the power of 2 over the concentration of the 2 reactants, and we multiply them. And you don't have to put that, you can just multiply them. Now be careful, this means the concentration, those brackets there. But when we actually substitute it, you don't need to put those brackets. So I've got that answer there. I'm going to put it in here. And remember the square, don't let it be evaporated from your calculation. H2 is 0.5, I2 is 0.5, and if you have your calculator with you, you will find, remember the square, an answer of 49. And it makes sense. It's a bigger number, because there's more product than reactants. Let's do another one. We've got a preparation of SO3. It's a gas. And at equilibrium, they found the constant to be 4. So they found the Kc value as being 4. And the temperature is 510 Kelvin. And they want us to calculate the concentration of oxygen. So they want us to calculate the oxygen concentration. And they're giving me the concentration of SO3 as well as SO2. Now let's firstly complete your equation. Kc is, and remember at the top, the product, SO3, and remember the moles will be the power over SO2, do you see 2 of that, times O2. What did they want us to calculate? They asked us to calculate the concentration of oxygen, so they want us to calculate that. But they gave us more information. They said this value is 4. They gave us the SO2 as 4.5 times 10 to the minus 2, and they gave us that value as 1.5 10 to the minus 2. So let's complete the equation. Let's say it's SO3 at the top. Remember the square, guys. Do you see there? At the bottom, I've got 4.5 times 10 to the minus 2 square, and I've got O2. I now know that the Kc value is 4. Now, if I take the O2 up that way, it will be 1.5 times 10 to the minus 2 square, 4.5 times 10 to the minus 2 square, multiplied with that 4. And if you have a look, you'll now find an answer of 2.78 times 10 to the minus 2 mole per cubic decimeter. Be careful that you know you're writing down the concentration, so you have to have a unit. And if it was something like square, you would have got the calculation refined to get the square root. Remember to do quite a lot of these because it's easy and it's easy marks to find. Right, let's finalize. Did you get the reactants and products? Then you write your equation for Kc. Remember, you don't write the words products over reactants. It's a relationship. You have to be able to write it and calculate it, and then finally get some of the concentrations as well. In the next lesson, we're going to do more intense and complex equations. But for now, you need to be able to write and calculate with the equilibrium constant. Bye.